Manila Press presents Soar, My Journey from Council Estate to the House of Lords by Simon Woolley. Read by Jonathan Andrew Hume. I dedicate this book, first to my two mothers, Lolita and Phyllis, aka Pippi. They are wonderful women who have had to fight throughout their lives, but always remained loving. The latter is sadly no longer with us. Pippi essentially made me who I am today. Lastly, to my son, Luca. I can't love a human being more than this kid, who, by the way, is taller than me. He's humorous, smart, and full of barefaced cheek, but loving with it. I hope you're all as proud of me as much as I love you all. Prologue. My name is Simon Woolley, Lord Woolley of Woodford, Knight Bachelor, if you care to use my full title, which mostly I don't. I'm a crossbench peer and principal of Homerton College, Cambridge, one of the first people of colour to lead an Oxbridge college. I'm the founder of Operation Black Vote, an organisation credited with encouraging tens of thousands of black women and men to exercise their democratic right in the United Kingdom. I'm first-generation British of Barbadian heritage. I grew up on an estate in Leicester, fostered by white parents at around 2 years old. I'm father to a son who makes me so proud I cry when I talk about him. My life has been hard, complicated, rich, varied, exciting, and filled with adventures. It hasn't been easy, but today I can look back on what I've done with a sense of pride. In the pages that follow, I'll take you on a journey back over my life, where I began and who I've become. Why? Because I hope it might show young men and women in this country, whatever their background or heritage, that they too can shoot for the stars, take a chance, become the person they dream of being. When I was writing this book, I found myself looking back with a mixture of disbelief, wonder, pride, and amazement at the man I've become and the place where I began. Let's start with an image of me as a little boy, plain Simon Woolley, growing up on the St. Matthew's estate in Leicester. There were very few black families on the estate, and as I've said, my foster parents were white. At my school, I was one of only a handful of black kids. I've been trying to think about when I first realized that I was black, that race was an essential part of who I was. And when I cast my mind back, I remember Ian Harding, another black kid from St. Matthew's, and me, running together. Our Cubs group was invited to a jamboree when I was about 9. It was an all-day event, and we took part in a variety of games, including the three-legged race. I was twinned with Ian Harding, who I knew because he was looked after by my mum in exchange for dodgy bespoke clothes. My mum took in other kids from the estate and often took payment in kind if the parents had no cash to pay her in a particular week. Ian's mum sewed truly awful clothes, which my brother and I often ended up wearing because there was so little money spare. I was pleased to be paired with Ian because he was fast. Very fast. He played football for England as a schoolboy until his dad put the blockers on because he didn't do his homework and was falling behind. And I was no slouch either. I knew I was fast. We stood there, arms around each other, legs tied together. I glanced from side to side. There were 4 pairs of boys on our left, 3 on our right, all white kids. Then Ian and me in the middle. We looked at each other and nodded. The scout leader gave the signal and we were off. We started tentatively slow, just finding our rhythm, but as we moved through gears, our stride lengthened, our pace became fierce. Suddenly, we were moving together, flying as one, sprinting as individuals, but bound together with a common purpose and a determination to win. No one was ahead of us, and we couldn't hear anyone close behind. We seemed to run alone down the track. As we crossed the finish line, we glanced back. A number of the boys had fallen over and were lying in tangled heaps along the track. The few still running were so far behind it was embarrassing. We looked at each other and grinned. Ian and I got a lot of shit for being boys of colour in a very white neighbourhood.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?